Ashtarashatashmad Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Vaman Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtarashatashmad Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Swami Mahārāja Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtarashatashmad Śrīla Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtarashatashmad Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosvāmī Prabhupada ki jai. Nitil Pravishtam Mahabhagavat Śrīla Gokṣaras Babaji Mahārāja ki jai. Nitil Pravishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nitil Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Babaji Mahārāja ki jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Patadasha Gunashar Gosvāmī Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Kshetra Mandal Gaura Mandal Vraja Mandal Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishta Bharati Giriraj Mahārāja ki jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kund ki jai. Shri Muna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Raghunath Das Goswami ki jai. Shri Dadi Chira Mahotsav ki jai. Shri Daṇḍa-mahotsava ki jai. Shri Patit Pavan Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Shri Panihati Gram ki jai. Shri Raghava Pandit ki jai. Shri Damayanti Devi ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankir Swaparshad Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Shri Satchinandan Gaura Hari ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hari Bol. So, yeah, I've stopped doing these readings in the evening time, but I thought today I should read something just for this special day today. So I'll begin now. There are a few different articles on purebhakti.com. I just chose 2 of 3. Class that my Gurudeva gave, my Gurudeva Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupada Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosvāmī Mahārāja, that he gave in Holland in 2003, I think. I haven't actually read it yet, but I just saw that. Okay. Holland, June 11th, 2003. Wow, it looks pretty long. Anyhow. Śrīla Raghunātha Das Gosvāmī. We should know about Śrīla Raghunātha Das Gosvāmī. He is in the line of Rupanuga Vaishnavas, and he is very near and dear to Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī and all other Vaishnavas. Śrīla Raghunātha Das Gosvāmī took birth in a very aristocratic and wealthy family, and he was the only son of his father and uncle. In boyhood, he was very fortunate to be initiated by Śrīla Yadunandana Acharya and the line of Śrī Advaita Acharya. Also, Krishna arranged to send Śrīla Haridas Thakur to his home, and they were together often. From babyhood, he had great taste in chanting the holy name, and at the age of 5, he received initiation and gradually developed in his bhakti. Only because of Śrīla Raghunātha Das Gosvāmī did Śrīla Haridas Thakur come to the house of a Vishai, of a sense enjoyer. Śrīla Raghunātha Das Gosvāmī's father was a Vaishnav, but there are 2 kinds of Vaishnavas, Vaishnav Prai and Vishai Prai. Vishai Prai is good, and Vaishnav Prai is not good. So Prai means like resembling. So somebody who resembles a Vaishnav or somebody who resembles a Vishai, a sense enjoyer. So if one is Vaishnav Prai, it means he seems to be a Vaishnav, but he's not. A Vishai Prai may seem to others to be a sense enjoyer, but he is not. It seems that Shri Pundarik Vidyanidhi, Shri Rai Ramananda, Shivas Pandit, and others like them were Vishais, but they were actually pure Vaishnavas, Uttam Bhagavats. Śrīla Raghunātha Das Gosvāmī's father used to serve all the Vaishnavas, and many Vaishnavas visited him, but he was engaged in sense gratification, and so he was a Vaishnav Prai, not a Vaishnav. If we consider the symptoms of Vaishnav Prai and Vishai Prai, we will see that we are also Vaishnav Prai, not Shuddha Vaishnav. If you are householders, try to be like Pundarik Vidyanidhi, Rai Ramananda, Shivas Pandit, the 5 Pandavas, Draupadi, and so on. And if you are renounced from household life, then try to be like Sri Narad, Sri Shukadev Goswami, Śrīla Rupa Goswami, Śrīla Sanatana Goswami, and others like them. So almost from the beginning of his life, Raghunath Das Goswami was associating with Srila Haridas Thakur. From the beginning, he had great affection for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by hearing from Yadunandanacharya, Srila Haridas Thakur especially, and from other Vaishnavas who visited his home. 1 second, just turning off. Where am I? Okay. Raghunath Das Goswami is an eternal associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Shri Shri Radha Krishna. But he is showing us by the example of his own life's activities that if one has performed spiritual pious activities, sukriti, in past lives, one will easily get the association of Vaishnavas in one's next life. He was playing a role in order to show us how we should live, how we should behave. After some time, he developed great love and affection for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and when he became about 12 years old, or a little older, he was continually weeping. When can I meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He was fortunate because when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas and wanted to go to Vrindavan, the tricky Nityananda Prabhu took him to Shantipur. When Raghunath Das heard this, he exclaimed, "Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come very near to my village," and he went to take his darshan. While there, he was always with Mahaprabhu, and he liked to take his remnants, his prasadam. Someone had told Mahaprabhu that Raghunath Das was the son of Govardhan Majumdar, a disciple of Yadunandanacharya and an associate of Haridas Thakur. So Mahaprabhu showed him great affection. Raghunath Das told Mahaprabhu, "I want to be with you wherever you go." Though only a boy, he had become mad after him. Not like the devotees nowadays. Nowadays, devotees go to their Gurudeva and say, "Oh Gurudev, I want to take poison," sense gratification with the opposite sex. "Please order me to take this poison." Gurudeva replies, "How can I order you to take poison?" The disciple says, "I may commit suicide if you don't." Gurudeva says, "Oh, don't commit suicide. If you do so, you'll have to suffer more than you are suffering now. I cannot give this order. If you do not want to obey, you can take the poison on your own, but I will not give you an order to do so." The disciple is then very happy, clapping and telling others, "My Gurudev has given me the order. You can take that poison." This is bad. We have been engaging in sense gratification since the origin of this creation. We have been humans before. We have been kings and animals like hogs and dogs. We have had thousands of wives. And we have also been demigods. But still, we are not satisfied. I know that after some time, such disciples will again not be satisfied, and they will again become hogs and dogs. How can Gurudev order his disciple to engage in sense gratification? He will never do so. Contrary to this type of disciple, Raghunath Das asked, "O Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, O Master, I want to come with you." Mahaprabhu replied, "Don't be mad, don't be mad. Sthir hoya ghare jao, na hao batul, krame krame pai loka, bhava sindhu kul." Be patient and return home. Don't be a crazy fellow. By and by, you will be able to cross the ocean of material existence. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 16:273. Antare nishta koro, bahye loka vyavahara, achirat Krishna tomai, koribe udar. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, "Within your heart, you should keep yourself very faithful, but externally, you may behave like an ordinary man. Thus, Krishna will soon be very pleased and deliver you from the clutches of Maya." Same chapter 239. Try to realize all these truths and hear patiently. If you really want to be happy in life, then hear very carefully how we can attain the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him, "Antare koro nishta." Nishta means steadiness of mind and heart. You should return to your home, obey your father and mother externally, and mingle with them outwardly until your bhakti matures. If you leave before your bhakti has somewhat come to nishta, you may again return. Especially if ruchi, taste in bhajan, manifests, you will not fall down. Loka vyabhahar means offer pranam to your father, mother, and others. Mix with them, and you can have a job. Antare means to internally have strong faith in the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Gradually you will develop, and then there will be no one to stop you. If you leave home without being in that position, you will again return. After Raghunath Das Goswami went back home, he was helping his father with landlord and property-related duties. At the same time, he was chanting and remembering, and his steadiness of mind and strong faith was increasing, and he developed his bhakti. One day, hearing that Nityananda Prabhu had come to Panihati, very near to his home in Saptagram, he at once told his father, "Father, I am going to meet Sri Nityananda Prabhu." In this way, when Nityananda Prabhu came to Panihati with all of his associates, Raghunath Das went there with the permission of his father. Lord Krishna makes arrangements such as these. You cannot do so. If you are sincere, then step by step, Krishna arranges everything. This is such an important point. Raghunath Das's father gave him some money and said, "You should feed the sadhus. Hold a mahotsava, a festival. Serve prasadam to the sadhus, and then very soon return home." Raghunath replied, "Oh father, I will return." When he arrived, he saw thousands of Vaishnavas were sitting with Nityananda Prabhu on the banks of the Ganges, under the shade of a banyan tree. Nityananda Prabhu was sitting like the sun, and all the Vaishnavas sat around him. Someone told Nityananda Prabhu, "Raghunath has come." Nityananda replied, "Bring him." And then he said to Raghunath Das, "Oh chor," chor means thief, "Oh come, come, come." Raghunath Das was shy, but the devotees somehow brought him closer, and Nityananda Prabhu told him, "I will punish you." That's the meaning of danda, punishment, dāsa-mahotsava. Saying this, Nityananda Prabhu put his lotus feet on Raghunath Das Goswami's head. I'm curious what the end note says. Oh no. Oh God. No. Okay, end note. Lord Nityananda was by nature very merciful and funny. Being merciful, he spoke to Raghunath Das as follows: "You are just like a thief. For instead of coming near, you stay away at a distant place. Now that I have captured you, I shall punish you. Make a festival and feed all my associates yogurt and chipped rice." Hearing this, Raghunath Das was greatly pleased. Okay, where were we? Oh, God. Lotus. Let's say head. There. Lord Brahma and Lord Shankar are never able to get this mercy. Nityananda Prabhu is Sri Baladev himself, the first expansion of Lord Krishna. Brahma and Shiva, Shankar, cannot even have this mercy in trance. But Raghunath Das Goswami was such an elevated devotee that Nityananda Prabhu personally placed his lotus feet on his head. Nityananda Prabhu then said, "You should hold a Chira Mahotsava, a chipped rice festival." Not chipped rice, flat rice. Chipped rice is a different thing. So you should hold a flat rice festival. Bring several mounds of yogurt, milk, sandesh, bananas, sugar, and many other eatables. Some servants from his father's house were with him, and they went village to village and collected great quantities of these items, because there were thousands of devotees. The flat rice was then cooked in pure hot milk, and very delicious sweet yogurt was also given. In India, sandesh is one of the most delicious sweets, so mounds of sandesh were also distributed. When the residents of the villages in which the ingredients were collected heard that there would be a festival and many people would be attending, they also came. Soon, there was no place for everyone to sit, so some stood up in the Ganges water, and some here and there. A plate was then given to Nityananda Prabhu, and he told the server to bring one more plate. Then a second plate was brought, containing the same preparations. He then meditated and prayed, and then he sang this kirtan along with his followers. At this time, all the assembled devotees in Śrīla Narayan Maharaj's class joined in as he loudly chanted the following 3 kirtans. Mahaprasade Govinde Naman Brahmani Vaishnave Swalpa Punyavatam Rajan Vishwaso Navajayate Sharira Avidyada Jal Jarendriya Tahekal Jive Pale Vishai Sagare Dharmade Jiva Ati Lobhamoy Sudurmati Takajeta Katina Sangsare Krishna Boradayamay Koribare Jiva Jai Swaprasad Anadila Bhai Se Anamrita Pao Radha Krishna Gunagao Preme Dako Chaitanya Nitai Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. A few lucky persons at once vividly saw that Mahaprabhu was sitting there. They saw that both Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu were weeping and honoring Mahaprasad. Raghunath Das saw this and thought, "Oh, Mahaprabhu is here." Sri Raghava Pandit was there, and he also realized, Mahaprabhu is here. Both lords took prasadam there, and that prasadam was then distributed to all. After prasadam, Mahaprabhu disappeared. This was the mercy of both Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu upon Raghunath Das Gosvāmī. And after this event, the obstacles which had been in his way disappeared. This was because Nityananda Prabhu had told him, "Now you have satisfied me. So now all problems and obstacles will go away, and very soon your desire to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be fulfilled." After some days, Raghunath Das Gosvami's parents saw and realized, "Oh, this boy is mad after Mahaprabhu." Therefore, they married him therefore to a very beautiful girl who could have won the Miss Universe contest. But he had no attraction for her at all, and he wanted to leave very soon. One day at about 4 in the morning, it so happens that Śrīla Yadunandanacharya came to his home and told him, "My priest, the worshipper of my deities, has not come home. Come with me to bring him." Raghunath Das Gosvami replied, "I will bring him myself. You may go home." Raghunath Das's father, mother, and everyone else were thinking, "He is with Yadunandanacharya, so he will not leave." And because of this understanding, no police or guards were there then. Raghunath Das went to the home of that priest and sent him to Śrīla Yadunandanacharya, and then he at once left for Puri. It was a 1-month journey through the forest by foot, but he did it in only 12 days. He hardly ate anything, only some muri and milk. And he only ate muri and milk in these 12 days. He thus became lean and thin during those days, and blackish because he never bathed. He was in the forest day and night. He did not walk on any path, for if he did, his father would have caught him. Thus he arrived in Puri. There is an important instruction here. We want to blow out our cheeks and laugh loudly at the same time. But this is not possible. 2 swords cannot fit in one case. In other words, we cannot have sense gratification and bhakti at the same time. Oh, that's really painful for me to hear. But it's true. Oh, God. If you want real devotion, try to follow Śrīla Raghunath Das Gosvami in a real sense. Otherwise, you cannot have it. When Raghunath Das Gosvami reached Puri, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu put him in the hands of Sri Sarup Damodar Goswami. This is an important thing to understand. Lord Krishna cannot help you. Only his associates can help you. Krishna does not fully know what bhakti is. That is, he does not know how to serve himself. He is the recipient of the service, the object of the service. He is not the performer or the container of the service. He's not the ashray. He's the vishai. Do you understand? He does not know this. Those who are worshipping and serving Lord Krishna or Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can teach. So don't go directly to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srimad Mahaprabhu told Raghunath Das Goswami, "Sarup Damodar knows more than I. And this was true. Mahaprabhu can only serve as Radhika serves, whereas devotees can serve Mahaprabhu and Radha and Krishna. Raghunath Das Goswami knew some of the moods of Sarup Damodar, but we cannot. We will have to go to a Mahabhagavat, a realized soul in this world who is playing the role of a Madhyam Adhikari, a sincere Vaishnav who knows Shastra. He will teach you. Srila Rupa Goswami and Sri Sarup Damodar cannot teach you, because they will not reveal themselves to us in their forms as Rupa Goswami and Sarup Damodar. They will not help us directly, because we are not qualified to see or hear them directly. Sri Rai Ramananda could not do anything to help you directly. He could not even help Pradyumna Mishra at first. Pradyumna Mishra had been ordered by Mahaprabhu to hear Harikatha from Rai Ramananda. He went to Rai Ramananda's home and heard from his servant that he was in the midst of training beautiful young lady servants of Lord Jagannath to dance, and was also bathing and dressing them. He then felt some disdain and returned to Mahaprabhu without hearing anything. So don't go to Mahaprabhu or Nityananda Prabhu directly. Go to a pure devotee. But to one who is playing the role of a Madhyam Adhikari and who is more near to you. He can teach you everything. This point is important because a Madhyam Adhikari is able to discriminate, and so it doesn't mean that like an Uttam Mahabhagavat, they see that everybody is on the same level as them, and Bhagavad Bhavamatmana, that everybody has the same feelings towards Krishna that they have, and so they don't discriminate. But in order to give mercy, it's necessary to discriminate, and so that's why the Uttam Adhikari, the Uttam Mahabhagavat, they come down to the platform of Madhyam. It doesn't mean that they're not Uttam, but they come down to this platform so that they can be able to discriminate, and they see, anyways, you get the point. Sorry, I need to clear my throat. This was the instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Raghunath Das Goswami. Tatapi amar agyay shraddha jadi hoy, amar e vakke tabe kori ho nishchoy. Nevertheless, if you want to take instructions from me with faith and love, you may ascertain your duties from the following words. Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya 6:235. Gramya katha na shunibe, Gramya varta na kahibe, bhalo na khaibe, ar bhalo na poribe. Sorry. Do not talk like people in general or hear what they say. You should not eat very palatable food, nor should you dress very nicely. It's verse 236. Amani manada hoya Krishna nama sada lobe. Vraje Radha Krishna seva manase koribe. Do not expect honor, but offer all respect to others. Always chant the holy name of Lord Krishna, and within your mind, render service to Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. Verse 237. Don't take rich and delicious foods. Some persons think, if delicious food is not found, we will go to a restaurant or any devotee's house. Don't do this, otherwise your bhakti will go away. Bhalo na kaibe ar bhalo na poribe. Don't wear beautiful fashionable garments. Also, don't criticize anyone, especially Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas who were in Puri left after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disappeared. Some returned to Mayapur Navadvip, some to Vrindavan, and some went here and there, and Puri became like a ghost town. So he wanted to die. He was thinking, I will die in Vrindavan by jumping in the Yamuna or jumping from Govardhan. But he decided to first meet with Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī and Śrīla Sanatana Gosvāmī, who were like his elder brothers or fathers. He knew how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was giving honor to Śrīla Sanatana Gosvāmī, and he knew how he had showered love and affection upon Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī. Rupa Gosvāmī and Sanatana Gosvāmī found out that he was not taking any prasad and that he was about to quit his body, so they pacified him. One cannot attain Krishna by dying, Sanatana Gosvāmī told him. I myself was going to commit suicide, but Mahaprabhu himself stopped me. Don't do it. Be situated at Radhakund. We will make a hut for you there, and from time to time we will come to see you. Be there as you were in Puri, in a fixed place, and do your sadhan bhajan there. Thus they made a place for him there, and there he was engaged in bhajan 24 hours a day. Sorry, that capital H confused me. In the morning, weeping and falling on the ground, he used to offer more than 1,000 pranams to all the Vaishnavas and all the sacred places of Vrindavan, to Mother Yashoda and Nanda Baba, and to all the associates of Radhika like Lalita, Vishaka, Chitra, Champakalata, and so on. He Radhe Vraja Devi ke chalalite, he Nanda Suna Kuta, Shri Govardhana Kalpa Pada Patale, Kalindi Vanye Kuta, Koshanta Viti Sarvata Vrajapure, Kedar Mahavivalo, Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyaga, Shri Jiva Gopalako. I am doing vandana to the 6 Goswamis, who are always calling out, O Radhe, O Queen of Vrindavan, where are you? O Lalite, O son of Nanda Maharaj, where are you? Are you seated beneath the Kalpa Vriksha trees of Shri Govardhan Hill? Or are you roaming in the forest along the soft banks of the Kalindi? They were always lamenting, overwhelmed, and burning in feelings of great separation as they wandered throughout all Brajmandal. Shri Sharda Goswami Ashtakam, verse 8. He was calling out, O Krishna, where are you? O Lalite, O Vishake, where are you? And he was only taking some buttermilk and a very small leaf cup, nothing else. So now it is 8:30 for me. I was going to read this part 2, but I'm not going to anymore. I'm going to just go over to Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bharatī Gosvāmi Mahārāja's article because there isn't time. I don't want to miss Prasadam. So if you want to read this part 2 of this class, then you can. I put it in the description of this live video. You can click there. It's entitled Intense Separation. So now we are going over to Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bharatī Gosvāmi Mahārāja's glorification. Let me put this in reading mode. View, show reader. June 23rd, 2021 is a celebration of the Dāsa in Vrindavan, India. The following is an excerpt from a Bhavanuvad of the Katha given by Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bharatī Gosvāmi Mahārāja on the same Tithi on June 11th, 2014. Hey, the one that we read by my Gurudeva is also on June 11th. Right? Look. June 11th in Holland. And that's June 11th, 2003, and this is June 11th, 2014. Additional text has been included in square brackets to facilitate flow of content. Today is a special Tithi. On this day, Śrīla Raghunātha Das Goswami, on the orders of Nityananda Prabhu, celebrated Chira Dāsa in Panihati, meeting Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Shantipur. When Śrīla Raghunātha Das Goswami met with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Shantipur, he thought, How shall I be able to get free from the hands of the watchmen? How shall I be able to go with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Nilachal? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being omniscient, knew his mind and instructed him. Stira hoya ghare jao na ho batul, krame krame pai loka bhava sindhu kul. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 16:237. Be patient and return home. Don't be foolish. One can cross over the material ocean only gradually. Markata vairagya na karo loka dekhaya, yatha yogya vishay bhunja anasakta hoya. The next verse. You should not make yourself a show bottle devotee and become a false renunciate. For the time being, enjoy the material world in a befitting way and do not become attached to it. Do not make a show of renunciation like a monkey. In other words, it is the nature of a monkey to exhibit renunciation externally and to exhibit renunciation externally and to enjoy inwardly. Therefore, Mahaprabhu is instructing Śrīla Raghunātha Das Gosvāmī to act just like an ordinary person externally, but without any attachment within. Let me check this, see if the internet's still working. It is, great. Antare nishta koro bahye loko vyavahar, achirat Krishna tomai koribe udhar. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 16:239. Internally, develop staunch faith in Sri Krishna, and externally, carry out your worldly responsibilities in such a way that no one could detect your inner mood. If you act like this, Sri Krishna will very quickly deliver you from material existence. Thereafter, Śrīla Raghunātha Das Gosvāmī returned home and externally gave much attention to household activities as per the Lord's instructions. Eventually, his father and uncle became satisfied by his behavior, suspecting his mind had become steady. They assumed he was no longer inclined to run away from home. Nityananda Prabhu arrives at Panihati. Following the instructions of Mahaprabhu to travel and preach, Nityananda Prabhu came along with his associates from Puri to reside at Raghava Pandit's house in Panihati. The news reached Śrīla Raghunātha Das Gosvāmī as his residence was not far from this place. One was on the eastern side, and the other was on the western side of the Ganges. Immediately, Śrīla Raghunātha Das Gosvāmī came for Nityananda Prabhu's darshan. Ooh, we get to see the picture. When Raghava Pandit introduced him to Nityananda Prabhu, saying, This is Raghunath offering pranams," then Nityananda Prabhu responded, "Oh, chor!" It says chora here. Anyhow. You always try to stay away at a distant place, but today I have caught you. When a householder catches a thief, what does he do? Becoming very angry, he punishes that thief. So now I will punish you. You have to feed all my associates with flat rice and yogurt. Śrīla Raghunātha-mahotsava. Raghunath Das was very happy to hear Lord Nityananda's command. He sent his own men to purchase and collect all varieties of eatables. He came with huge sums of money to celebrate the festival. His father and uncle were not miserly when it came to serving in this way. There was no bar on spending as long as Śrīla Raghunātha Das Gosvāmī remained at home. The news spread all over that Govardhan Majumadar's son is celebrating a Śrīla Raghunātha-mahotsava. So Śrīla Raghunātha Das Gosvāmī brought milk, yogurt, bananas, dates, oranges, sugarcane, and other eatables, as well as pots. He had one rule. He would pay whatever the quoted price was without trying to bargain. Nityananda Prabhu saw that a great quantity of products had arrived. Yogurt and milk cannot go together, but both had to be well utilized. So in each of the earthen pots, first the milk was boiled and some milk was condensed. Then half of the soaked flat rice, was mixed with yogurt, sugar, and bananas, and the other half was mixed with condensed milk and a special type of banana called champakala. Then sugar, clarified butter, and camphor were added, as well as dates, other fruits, and sweets. This is called malsa bhog. Malsa. What's malsa? Malsa mean? Do you know, Rukmini, Didi, what malsa means? Anyways, this is called the malsa bhog, and everyone is given 2 pots, one of each variety. One with, so everybody's given 2 pots, one with flat rice mixed with condensed milk, and the other containing flat rice with yogurt. The festival witnessed such a huge gathering of people that there was practically no space to stand on the banks of the river. So some people stood inside the river and ate with the pots in their hands. Then Raghava Pandit arrived there. Seeing the situation, he began to laugh in great surprise and said to Nityananda Prabhu, "Oh, I have prepared your offerings at home, but you're having an utsav here?" Nityananda Prabhu replied, "We are cowherds, and we love to do pulina bhojan, picnic by the banks of a river. So you should sit here and honor some prasad as well. I will take the offering at your home in the evening, not now." See, there's the devotees standing in the water, standing in the Ganges, taking prasad. I wonder where... Anyways, okay. Then the presence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was invoked there in meditation by Nityananda Prabhu. See, look, there's Mahaprabhu. He came from Puri, but the people in general couldn't see or notice him. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took food little by little from both the pots, and then he wandered among the devotees and observed everything. In this way, a grand festival was organized. As any sacrifice is considered worthless without mantras being chanted and dakshina being offered, mantrahinam dakshinam. After feeding all the devotees, Śrīla Raghunātha Das Gosvāmī asked Raghava Pandit for guidance to ascertain how much dakshina to give each person, because if he were to give everyone equally, then it would constitute a violation of etiquette. That's interesting. Yes, we can't treat everybody equally. We have to deal with everybody according to their level. Anyways. There is a kirtan of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur which says, "Sakale saman korite shakati, deho nata jata jata." Jata jata means accordingly. Meaning, "O Gurudev, please give me the power to honor all the living entities according to their due." Thus, Raghava Pandit made the list showing how much was to be donated to each and every devotee. Accordingly, Śrīla Raghunātha Das Gosvāmī offered 2 tolas of gold, and 100 gold coins in the hands of Nityananda Prabhu's sevak, as dakshina to be distributed among all the assembled devotees, as per the list. Just checking the comments. 1 second. Okay, no problem. In the end, he prayed to Nityananda Prabhu. Prabhu, and I'm also curious how much 2 tolas is. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Actually, there's one... No, I shouldn't be doing this now. Can't stop myself. Okay. In the end, he prayed to Nityananda Prabhu. Prabhu, I don't like samsara, and I want freedom from material bondage. Nityananda Prabhu placed his divine feet on the head of Śrīla Raghunātha Das Gosvāmī, being very pleased with his service mood and his attitude towards the Vaishnavas, saying, "Ghuchilo bandhan, you shall no longer be bound in this material world. Your connection with samsara has been severed. You have no material entanglements now." But Śrīla Raghunātha Das Gosvāmī responded, "I am being guarded day and night. How can I escape?" Nityananda Prabhu reassured him, "Very soon, without impediments, you will attain shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu." Okay, I need to check out, what's this word? Is it malsa? Hey, not salsa, malsa. Sorry guys, I just cannot stop myself. Oh. I don't see it. I don't see it in the dictionary. Anyhow. Nope. What about tola? I should type anything out. Anyways, I'm wasting time. Sorry guys. Okay. Anupan of Vaishnav Seva. What's anupan mean? Oh my god, all these words I don't know. Okay, within a few days, an opportunity arose of its own accord for Śrīla Raghunātha Das Gosvāmī to be able to escape to Jagannath Puri. This is because Śrīla Raghunātha Das Gosvāmī had taken the appropriate anupan of Vaishnav Seva. Anupan is a liquid that is advised either before, Anupan is a liquid that is advised either before, along with, or after the intake of an Ayurvedic medicine. Medicine works best only when it is complemented with the recommended anupan. Ayurvedic practitioners, Kavirajas, insist on one's taking anupan. Interesting. Once, the Nawab of Dhaka was suffering with an extreme condition in which his whole body was burning like fire. He tried all allopathic medicines to no avail, so he came to consult Shyam Das Kaviraj in Kolkata. The Kaviraj felt his pulse and said, "I cannot treat you because it is difficult to find the specific anupan." Oops, my mic slipped down. It's difficult to find the specific anupan. He was very disappointed and was returning by the boat in which he had traveled there. And when he noticed a poisonous snake drinking rainwater that had collected in a skull. Okay? As his companions were asleep, he stepped out to drink the water from the skull, thinking, "Even if drinking this, it doesn't matter. It is better to die than suffer this." Jeez. But soon he felt some relief from the burning sensation in his body. So he returned to the Kaviraj, who told him, "Now I can treat you, and you can be cured because you have taken the appropriate anupan. If any poisonous snake drinks rainwater accumulated in the skull of a man who is reached away, and if such leftover water is consumed, only then my medicine will work for a specific health condition." My God, okay? That Nawab of Dhaka was eventually cured, and he built a 2-storied house for Shyam Das Kaviraj and cited how effective his treatment was. He also instituted a hospital by the name Ashtanga Ayurvedic Hospital. Srila Bhakti and Bharatī Gosvāmī always gives these really interesting stories, just like facts that happen. Okay, Mahaprabhu's Sevak from Sri Khanda. Is the kirtan outside too loud? They're almost finished anyways. So, Mahaprabhu's Sevaks from Sri Khanda used to administer such treatments. There is a mention for these Vaidyas in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi 1051. Chikitsa kore na jare hoya sadai, deharoga bhavaroga duita rakhoi. As Murari Gupta treated his patients, by his mercy, both their bodily and spiritual diseases subsided. These Vaidyas are devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They do not take money for the treatment of money for the treatment of sadhus, mahatmas, and brahmins. I have taken many patients to them. Their consultation and medicines are both free. When our Guru Mahārāja was a brahmachari, he once visited one such Vaidya for consultation and medicine for Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhardev Goswami Mahārāja. During that visit, he told the doctor that he himself was to undergo an operation for a hernia. The Vaidya checked his pulse and said, "You don't have to undergo an operation right now. There is time, so first try taking my medicine." He wrote the prescription, and the medicinal herbs and roots were brought from the market, boiled in 4 liters of water until the water was reduced to 1 liter. Then the concoction was strained, and milk and sugar, mishri, were added. The Bandhari had prepared it, and as Guru Maharaj drank it, little by little, he enjoyed the taste and consumes the whole thing. Then he went to the latrine and everything was cleared. Anyways, never mind. When Guru Maharaj returned to the doctor reported, "You have no hernia. Your stools had merely hardened and dried and formed into knots." Okay. Likewise, in the world of Hari Bhakti, treatment is needed. And what is the treatment? It is sadhu seva. So it is said in the Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.2, Mahatsevam dvaram ahor vimuktes tamo dvaram yoshitam sangi sangam mahantaste samachita prashanta vimanyava suridasādavoye. My God, we learned this shloka in Gurukul, but I forgot it. Anyhow. One can attain the path of liberation from material bondage only by rendering service to highly advanced spiritual personalities. These personalities are impersonalists and devotees alike. Whether one wants to merge into the Lord's existence or desires to associate with the personality of Godhead himself, one should render service to the Mahatmas. For those who are not interested in such activities, I got distracted by the kirtan. For those who are not interested in such activities, who associate with people fond of women and sex, the path to hell is wide open. The Mahatmas are equipoised. They do not see any difference between one living entity and another. They are very peaceful and are fully engaged in devotional service. They are devoid of anger, and they work for the benefit of everyone. They do not behave in any abominable way. Such people are known as Mahatmas. The door to liberation from material bondage can be opened by rendering service to highly advanced spiritual personalities. And what is the door to hell? Yoshit Sangi Sangam, association with women or with those who are too attached to women. That is the door to hell. So it is necessary to not associate with such people. And of course it goes the other way around. So for women to associate with men. And that's a whole topic though, anyways. Natatasya bhaven moho bandaschanya prasangata yoshit sangad yata pungso yata tat sangi sangata. Srimad Bhagavatam 3:31-35. The infatuation and bondage which accrue to a man from the attachment... let me reread that. The infatuation and bondage which accrue to a man from attachment to any other object is not as complete as that resulting from attachment to a woman or to the fellowship of men who are fond of women. Yoshit Seva and Yoshit Sangi Seva, sense enjoyment with the opposite sex, and association with those who are attached to sense enjoyment with the opposite sex, both should be avoided. Today, Śrīla Raghunātha Das Gosvāmī celebrated Śrīla Dāḍa-mahotsava, so we are remembering this. Even to this day, Śrīla Dāḍa-mahotsava is celebrated in Panihati. Although no one is invited separately, all the mats observe this day, and whoever comes to the mat is offered Mahaprasad. There's a devotee who went this morning, Ramesh Prabhu, he went to Panihati this morning. He invited me to come, but I had to do the Srimad Bhagavatam class. Anyhow. But yeah, I hope everybody watching right now, listening to this, has had their fill of flat rice with yogurt and bananas and mangoes and sandesh or whatever. Yeah, it's my favorite breakfast day of the year. Let's see what tolas mean. Well, tola means to lift. Okay, I know that, but no. A measure of weight. It is approximately 12 grams. So I forgot how many tolas of gold, but whatever. 1 tola is 12 grams. All right. It's time for prasadam, so I'm just going to do a quick Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Sorry, I was holding in that sneeze for a while. Jai Shishi Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki jai. Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatara Shatashmad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosvāmi Mahārāja Srila Gurudeva ki jai. Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatara Shatashmad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Gosvāmi Mahārāja ki jai. Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Mahārāja Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Gosvāmi Mahārāja ki jai. Nitil Pravishtam. Well, I did that automatically. Nitila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatara Shatashmad Srila Bhakti Vijñāna Keshav Gosvāmi Mahārāja ki jai. Nitila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatara Shatashmad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosvāmi Prabhupada ki jai. Nitila Pravishta Mahabhagavat Srila Gaurkishore Babaji Mahārāja ki jai. Nitila Pravishta Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nitila Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Mahārāja ki jai. Shri Rupana Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Nitila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatara Shatashmad Srila Bhakti Vijñāna Bharatī Gosvāmi Mahārāja ki jai. Nitila Pravishtam Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Gosvāmi Mahārāja ki jai. Nitila Pravishtam Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Dayit Madhav Gosvāmi Mahārāja ki jai. Nitila Pravishtam Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Gosvāmi Mahārāja ki jai. Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Patadas Raghunath Shara Gosvāmi Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namachay Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Kshetra Mandal Gaura Mandal Vraja Mandal Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishya Pradata Giriraj Mahārāja ki jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kund ki jai. Shri Muna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Giriraj, I already did Giriraj Maharaj. Śrīla Raghunātha Das Gosvāmī ki jai. Śrīla Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Shri Raghava Pandit ki jai. Shri Damayanti Devi ki jai. Shri Dadi Chira Mahotsav ki jai. Shri Daṇḍa-mahotsava ki jai. Shri Panihati Gram ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Swa Parshad Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Sattvatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyashta Kripa Sindhubhyaya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams. And thanks for joining Rukmini and Rupanjali. I was really happy you're there. All right, Haribol. And they just now rang the prasad bell. Just perfect timing. Okay, Haribol.